Today is Wednesday, October 26th, 2016. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor Millennials vs. Gen X, Episode 6.
This episode was titled The Truth Works Well. That was spoken by Michelle at the Reward Challenge.
Yes.
Which I do not agree with in the context of this game. You have to choose your truths, and I think it's very naive to think that you can always tell the truth in this game. I think it'll hurt you. You can always do it, but it will hurt you.
I don't believe she believes that for a second.
Maybe not.
But I think she wants everyone to think she does.
That could be. Maybe she's working on multiple levels.
Because she's already said that she would vote Figgy out or, So, obviously she doesn't always tell the truth.
Yeah, projecting a certain face.
I understand that she tries and she wants everyone to believe that, and I think that's good strategy.
Sounds good. Okay, previously on Survivor at Ikabula, Sunday and Bret are in the minority. At Vanua, Figgy and Taylor are hiding their romance, or so they think, leaving Adam as the swing vote in the tribe between the two duos. And at Takali, Chris pulls in the Millennials. It's bye-bye, Cece. The best thing that they could have done for their game.
Chris pulls in the Millennials?
That's what they said.
Oh, Chris, I was looking up at the TV and seeing Bret.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Never mind.
Yeah, let's focus.
I was on the TV screen. I was focused on Bret.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, night 15, they get back. Everybody hugs everyone.
Absolute relief, David tells us. Yep, they made the right choice, getting rid of Cece.
That's right, and that the new game is about people I trust versus people you trust, not Millennials versus Gen X.
What did you think of Zeke's response? I was a little surprised. I didn't think he was going to go there.
I was extrememly surprised to hear him say that.
Silly Gen Xers. They had the numbers and they gave them up.
They're the only tribe that had that Gen X numbers, and they gave it up.
So he didn't seem to value the move that Chris made, huh? Maybe that means that alliance with Chris and David's pretty tenuous and
I really
won't
thought
last
he
or
was
go far.
On with them, so that's still actually I'm still confused by that. So just still not sure. But either way, it was good for him.
Yeah, he tells us he's feeling like a brand new baby. He got a relief, and he's got a whole new view on the game now.
If he made it to the end, he would say, hey, I'm the one that got the Gen Xers to turn on themselves first. They went with me instead of Cece.
Yeah, that might be a feather in his cap.
Yeah.
Okay, Ikabula, day 16. Sunday says she is hungry. And Jay says, yep, he's hungry, but turns to the focus, the confessional on him, and you can tell something's going to happen because there's a little more dramatic music going on, and he tells us how he has to stay focused, and he's there to take care of his family, and it makes him cry to think about it, but he has to take care of his mother and his sister because he was the only one there to do that, and
he's gonna win.
Recruits Will to go for a dead coconut search is how they phrased it. Dead coconuts. Okay.
Well, my thought was when he said that could well happen.
What?
That he's playing really well so far, seems like. That he could win.
Are you ready to declare him the winner? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I certainly think he has a chance, at this point anyway.
As do all the other people remaining in the game.
A better chance than some.
Okay, so it's time to hunt for idols, and Jay notices that here's a piece of bamboo with their tribe symbol painted on it. The way they showed us, it didn't take them long, but perhaps they had been searching. Who knows? But that's pretty much the first Ikabula search that we had seen.
Well, he must trust Will because they were looking together.
Or he didn't have any choice, but he did recruit him to go look for the coconut, so I think you're right. But their little secret doesn't last very long.
Just as he's telling Will, don't tell anybody.
What's the logic in running to hide to look at the idol on the trail? They were over in the bushes, right? Over a little bit under the trees and all that. And yet they moved back into the clear on the trail.
Well, they may have been more focused on the cameras.
Michaela busted them solid.
Oh, yeah.
What are you two little Eskimos up to? That was a good line. I like that.
When he had it out, she could see.
Yeah.
So, no big surprise there.
She says that Jay is one of her allies, but she's not going to have any trouble snitching on him if it goes sideways on her.
Well, she thinks that he's one of the allies. Obviously, he didn't trust her.
He does not reciprocate, yes.
And Will didn't, because he's like, oh, that was bad timing. So.
Jay says it's horrible that Michaela is now involved. So I don't think Jay has any illusions or plans about Michaela either. So,
but Michaela tells us she'll keep quiet for now, but if she senses anything, she's going to be a snitch.
Okay, you realize I said that like 15 seconds ago, right?
I didn't. I didn't hear words you said.
So we might as well be in two different rooms, right? Okay.
I'm always like this on Wednesday night for sure. Maybe other times as well. But.
All right, so we're still in day 16, and we go to reward. You noted that it was really quick, about 7 minutes into the episode. Yeah. We're at a reward challenge. What did you think about this reward? What did they get? What did the winner get, the first tribe to finish?
Oh, they got cookies and brownies and cupcakes and apple pie and milk and tea.
Nice tea.
Iced tea.
And then the second tribe to win got what?
Just chocolate chip cookies.
That's okay.
Pretty good too.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Certainly worth playing for, huh?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Although, as rewards go, I don't think that one does you a lot of favors. It satisfies your sweet tooth, but it doesn't really get you ready for, like, another challenge. Or
I think the apple pie and milk would probably, any food out there is going to boost them. So.
Yeah.
But if they just
it's
don't
not sustenance,
eat it all at
though.
once.
You burn it right away, those kind of carb calories.
Yeah,
so
that burns off quick.
Those kind of rewards.
I said the apples with some milk would last longer in their bodies. So.
And as Probst announces that Cece's been voted out, Figgy claps. Because, what the heck, why hide anything in this game? That's Figgy's perception, it seems like.
I was worried about Michelle. Well, I really love Michelle. Oh, yeah, and you too, Zeke.
Yeah, that was awesome. Even she knew she had blundered, but then she didn't really care, so.
Well, we'll talk about this later when we get there, but the Millennials are really holding on to this, we've got the numbers, but
which is an illusion.
Really?
It's always been a bit of an illusion because of the splits and the fractures there.
Why would those people that knew they were on the bottom want to stay with you and still be on the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, I think they're being a little too overly confident there.
Certainly, it seems that way. Yep.
So what did you think of the challenge? Was it one of the better or not as good blindfold challenges?
I think it was a little better because the people weren't in as much jeopardy to seriously hurt themselves. Yeah.
Though Ken might beg to differ, but
yeah,
they didn't get seriously injured.
Yeah, it didn't look like anybody drew blood like we've seen in these challenges in the past. Either we're getting conked on the head or running into things, moving too hard. And Ken was trying to protect his groin area, but as soon as he took his hand away, he walked into something because Figgy wasn't that good of a caller in that regard. Although they did really good.
I
guess maybe she was
did okay.
She was doing good as the caller, although maybe it was more credit to them and how they were able to get those puzzle pieces back. And so they started with a huge advantage on the other two tribes in terms of having their puzzle pieces undone and working on the puzzle. And it looked like Figgy was making good progress at first.
You know what I really liked? Was Chris in this challenge when he decided to, what he wanted to tell David, and he would yell it.
The relay? Yeah, he started relaying for Michelle because David
and I was like, yes.
Couldn't make out what Michelle was saying.
Don't ask Probst, just do it.
Yeah.
You can't undo it. So you at least get that even if he tells you, oh, you can't do that, you're not the caller. Okay, well, if you don't ask him, then a lot of times he'll let it ride. And I just love that he did that.
What did you think about Sunday spinning herself dizzy and falling down? They must have told them they had to do it that way.
Yeah, because
as opposed to just stand and spin it. Yeah.
Maybe they couldn't see. Maybe they thought they had to. I don't know, but because I think Ken did it too, didn't he? Walk around.
It looked like Ken and Chris both did that they were walking around.
So maybe they had to.
It was designed to make them dizzy.
Something we didn't see,
right.
or didn't know. So, but that was, you sitting here on the sofa, all comfy and all.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, why don't you just spin that around?
Yeah, must not have been able to.
Yeah.
Okay, so Takali gets all their pieces back super quick, and then Ikabula gets them back.
Hannah feels a little faint about this time.
Yeah, so they send her to the shade. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ikabula gets all theirs in, and eventually Vanua gets theirs back, but they're starting at a pretty decent deficit.
And then we see Bret with Hannah.
Figgy starts struggling with the puzzle at this point. It looks like she's got it, but there needs to be some pieces flipped, but she can't see it. So by herself, she's not able to get a hold of this puzzle.
Well, it didn't seem like they were that far off.
No, you could see the bat. That's what that was, right? It was an image of a bat flying, and you could see most of it was there. Mm-hmm. But she just blew it because Vanua comes rushing back in with Michelle calling, solving the puzzle, and Zeke moving the pieces around blindfolded, and they end up winning the whole thing.
Yeah, then Ikabula.
Getting the big reward, yeah, and then Ikabula comes back and gets the chocolate chip cookies. Probst tells us that Takali blew a huge lead as they cut to Figgy.
Yep, and then he checks in on Hannah and calls the doctor over. But
there wasn't urgency in his voice, just like when we saw him the next time on Survivor. There wasn't anything urgent about it.
No, just Dr. Joe come over and check Hannah out, and so this is where it feels like she was about to start into a panic attack because of her. You're not going to let me die, are you? And that is scary out there. Yeah. I'm not saying that wouldn't be. It would be, especially at her age. She's young. She probably hasn't had anything quite like that.
Yeah, it's not like rational logic applies, I guess, in a situation like that. It just seems, as Hannah herself noted, it was humorous that she who sat out the challenge ended up having a medical issue. Yeah, because she was breathing too fast.
Yeah. I'd never heard of them calling that acidic. They got acidic from hyperventilating.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway,
I thought she was having some heat exhaustion because she had the tingling and the numbing in her arms. Yeah, it did sound like Paul at first, but then Dr. Joe explained it. Yeah, that it was just a panic attack.
He stayed very calm.
Yeah,
and he kept her calm, so he's pretty good at what he does.
Got her to breathe.
A doctor with a good bedside manner, even out in the wilderness.
Vanua grabs their reward, all those goodies, and heads off.
No, not until Jeff tells us, hero or zero.
Actually, that
out.
Came after that, I think, right? They let him grab the rewards, and then he gives the hero to zero speech to Figgy, who cries a little, or at least
that's what happens when you volunteer.
Makes it
Figgy
appear like she's crying.
So
we get to hear Figgy explain how hard it is to blow a challenge like that and lead the blindfolded.
So we go back over to Vanua, and they are very happy with their
enjoying
food.
Their treat. So it may not offer a lot of sustenance for their body, and they'll blow through the empty carbs there quick. But it did world of good for their spirits, huh?
And now Zeke's telling us, unlike in earlier when he's talking about the Gen Xers.
Well, he's hurt.
Okay.
Because Figgy basically dissed him. She disrespected him.
They still don't care about me. So he's like, I'm at the bottom of the Millennials. I may as well give up on the Millennial tribe.
Yeah, Figgy basically signed Michelle's death warrant in this tribe right there by flipping Zeke.
I thought
on Michelle.
Did you notice that David chimed in and said, we never would have won this challenge with Cece?
Yes. That was an interesting
reinforcement
to say.
Yes.
Made the right choice.
It's us. We're together. We're solid.
Imagine how much better they could do without you, David.
Well, he held his own this week pretty good.
We'll talk about that in the immunity challenge.
The calling thing. And
he wasn't a help to his tribe.
You're right, David. He was the detriment
to his tribe in this. they would have finished even faster had he not been so lost on the field and unable to follow Michelle's instructions without Chris's
or hear
help.
her instructions, yeah. Because her voice sound like it was going. Her voice didn't
It
hold
worked for
up
Chris.
well. Well, maybe Chris has better hearing.
Yeah. Well,
Some of us don't have as good a hearing as others. You can hear things I can't hear, and I smell things you can't smell.
yeah, that's true.
So, just different senses are stronger sometimes. So, okay.
Yeah, Zeke tells us maybe it's good for him to give up on the Millennials.
I said that just a minute ago. You know
You
that,
did?
right?
No,
Okay.
I wasn't listening.
Just wanted to point that out. I'm not the only one that does that.
Okay, over to Ikabula. Jay is smacking the water with a stick. I thought there was going to be something to that. I thought maybe he was trying to stun some fish or something, but maybe he was just out smacking the water because they
Playing
didn't
in the
get the reward. I mean, he wasn't happy with the cookies. I don't know.
Well, he doesn't like to lose either. So Hannah tells us her brain is exhausted, which, yeah, no sleep, bamboo, uncomfortable, stress, et cetera. Yes, welcome to Survivor.
She tells Sunday she knows she'll be made fun of for that little event.
And she has to keep saying I'm good so that it doesn't hinder her game. At least she realizes that.
That perception is reality out
Yep.
there, yeah.
Absolutely.
Although,
And-
Hannah, I don't know that they ever thought much of you or your game.
Well,
She's not an imposing
I
figure.
think she's likable, though.
Okay. She might be a bit of a burden.
Maybe, but she's a likable bird.
Okay. All right, what's going over at Takali?
Figs said to Adam, well, don't tell Ken and Jessica about us. It's like, yeah, right. They really were delusional about
I think delusional is a great word that really sort of pinpoints their perspective on the game.
So Taylor held his line the whole time and kept saying, "Oh, let's tell him. Let's tell him. Yeah, I don't think it's that big a deal. It's no big deal. It's not going to hurt
Go ahead,
us. We got the
practice on
numbers."
me how you would tell Jessica.
Yeah, tell me how you're going to do it. Because we got the numbers. We don't have to worry.
Yep.
And, basically Jess and Ken's response was like, duh.
Right.
It's obvious. So, and that Ken did say they're not as cool as they think they are.
Right, and he's going to continue to work. I wanted to see him actually do something. He said he was going to continue to make moves and try to ensure that he's going to be okay.
Well, he did win Adam over after Jessica said, you need to do this or they're going to vote. He's going to write
Right,
your
but
name
this is
down.
well before then,
Yes.
right? This is still day 16. This is
Yes,
2 days
we did not
before
see him doing
Jess
anything.
gives him the instruction. So my
Right.
point was, he says he's going to do that, and then we don't get to see him doing anything.
Well, we didn't get to see anything for day 17.
Yep,
That
it was a
skipped.
straight skip over. Okay, on to the community challenge. Another one that starts out in the water, a little bit of a water thing, and ends up on the beach. What did you think about this challenge?
I loved how it started off again. All the little things that Figgy said and did made me happy.
Yeah?
Because I kept going, yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
who did you have to go?
Well, of course, we both had Figgy to go home.
Yeah.
So when she says, we're going to trade this little one for the big one this week, I thought,
You jumped right on that.
I don't.
You said, I think that's
so.
foreshadowing. That was good. I like
did.
that.
I said,
Yeah, you were
"Oh,
excited.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, we get excited about those things, especially since
Adam.
this is my first vote out point.
Yeah, for this season. Adam, Sunday, and Will sit out. And as Prope said, David did surprisingly okay.
He did.
Yeah, he was okay.
He walked that balance beam.
Yeah. Did better than Ken in
Yes.
that regard.
Absolutely. I think Ken just got in too big a hurry when he saw the end there and
Yeah.
lost his balance.
But he was able to come back and make up time and finish before David. So.
He was almost right back behind him. Wasn't that far. And you have to give David kudos. He pulled one back up there the first time, but then he went back and got the other two.
Yeah, at least he
So,
did. He didn't
yes.
slow it down and do one at a time.
How did you feel about Jeff saying, "Oh, it's probably more than David weighs"?
Well, he didn't say it's probably. He said
Oh.
it was. He said
Oh,
that they
okay.
do, at which point I was thinking, yeah, I don't think so. But, kudos. Good job, David. I was happy to see he did okay there. So you're right. He did better in that one. You could imagine that Paul might have been able to carry all 3 of them.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think Paul could have carried all 3 of them the way Ken and little Jay did. And yeah, no problem there. Certainly it was no problem for Chris and Bret. Okay, so once again, Takali starts with a huge lead.
Yeah, Figs and Jess empty the bags and, start on the solving the maze or whatever that was called. And
then it became the Michaela show. Michaela and Hannah are working on the puzzle there where they have to roll the pool ball through the cue ball. With, of course,
Jeff narrating, Michaela barks orders at Hannah.
She was pretty rough with Hannah.
They're in the lead.
But she got Hannah to do what they needed to do to win, and they came from behind and won decidedly.
Hannah handled it extremely well. There's people that wouldn't have been able to do the challenge because with somebody yelling at them like that.
That was pretty risky on Michaela's part, given that Hannah had just had a panic attack while sitting on the sidelines with no one yelling at her
during the challenge.
Yeah.
Maybe not a wise decision, but Hannah handled it. She did well.
To your point, she redeemed herself a little bit there.
Well, but the other
once thing she did what Michaela said, which was shut up.
Shut up and just do what I told you. Hold it still, and I'll get it in there.
Right.
Which she did, but had she not, then that loss would have been on her and could have got her sent home.
Sure.
That's the backside of that. Is she could have put herself in danger there too.
Well, not only does she win it for their tribe, but she jumps in and helps Michelle and Zeke too.
Yep, absolutely.
And you can see Taylor react even at that point, right then when Michaela started offering suggestions to Zeke and Michelle for how to actually maneuver and get it in. And so they made another amazing comeback to secure the second spot of immunity there in the challenge.
Right. And Ikabula loses, and of course we knew Jeff would question Michaela about why she helped the other tribe. But here's the thing is, I love Michaela, and I like her outspokenness. I love her as the challenge beast. Mm-hmm. But she's not doing herself any favors. Even her response to Taylor about, well, there's 3 of you, and if you can't figure it out together, then you deserve to go home. That could come back.
I wasn't as concerned about that. That didn't.
Well, because she was talking to Taylor, and you were thrilled.
Yeah, but at the same time, they never went out of their way to be nice to her, I don't think, right? So Figgy and Taylor were both maneuvering to get rid of Michaela.
But supposedly they were in an alliance.
Sure. I mean, that's how it works. Sometimes you have to work with an enemy to defeat another enemy.
Yep.
So that's certainly the reality of the game here. But your point when she said that to Zeke and Michelle certainly is valid. That it's telling all the Gen Xers. She was broadcasting all the Gen Xers that they're going down.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
That she's working against them. She's not open to working with them.
Right. And so why would she telegraph that?
Yeah. Well, some people can't get out of their own way.
Still, not good to telegraph, but okay. I enjoyed hearing her say it.
Yeah.
It made good
entertaining.
TV. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so day 18.
So after the challenge still, but right after that we get a quick confessional from Figgy, which made you and I both hopeful that it might be her, or she informs us that if the Millennials are smart, they'll stick together and take out the Gen Xers.
Oh, yes.
And because that's what makes smart.
And Adam tells us how it puts him in a bind. Because he's basically can't straddle the fence anymore. He's got to choose.
Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't sympathize or empathize with him at all. This was his opportunity. Now he's in the power role, and I always have a problem with the people that fret and hem and haw when it's their turn to make the decision like this.
I think that's normal, so that doesn't bother me. But I would have been very angry with him had he not gone the way he did.
Yeah. And
not because of the point either, just because I think it's in his best interest.
Okay. Well, I get it that you accept it, but when you get all wimpy and weepy over having to make a choice like this, when you finally have a choice after being on the bottom the way he was, I can't respect your response. So I was hoping for the best.
They are thinking ahead.
It was really in Jessica and Ken's hands.
They are thinking ahead in that they're thinking about the merge and who they'd want to get rid of. And I thought they might start doing that, both sides, and get rid of some of the stronger players. And that's what they decided. But what was really the beauty for me tonight was Taylor wondering whether Adam was smart enough to figure out.
Tad bit of irony there.
I was like, oh, Taylor, honey.
You said
bless your heart.
You were definitely bless your heart. You were thinking Adam probably was enjoying that when they were watching.
Yeah,
his house tonight.
Yeah. Especially knowing what happened.
I think I did choose well. Yeah.
And then I thought, Adam must be sitting there tonight, really enjoying this.
Yeah, I guess I didn't buy their logic about moving early on Ken right now. You can always do that. You can always take out a big physical threat before going, but the big physical threats are always the main targets once you do merge. So it seems like a waste.
Jessica made friends with Figgy. Mm-hmm. Figgy likes her girlfriends too. Likes to have somebody to, talk guys with and stuff like that. So, yes, I think they saw Ken as a bigger threat, but she had more of a connection with Jessica.
You think that might have been
I think
what
it
influenced
totally was,
Figgy?
yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think Taylor cared whatever Figgy wants. Whatever makes Figgy happy, he'll be happy.
I was curious about what it was that perhaps it was that, but I was curious that, Figgy gave her a little speech about how he was a big threat and what it was they were perceiving. Mm-hmm. If there were some discussions or what they were picking up on Ken outside of what he offered in the physical challenges.
Well, that's all she talked about, that he would be more of a threat after the merge, which is true.
Yeah, she did hint that they thought he was more of a threat than just the physical, I think. So
Jessica moves in, finds out exactly what is happening, and tells Ken hey, this is what's happening. If you don't go convince him otherwise, you need to go persuade Adam.
Yeah, tell him you'll never write his name down. She was really clear. I liked her instructions. You need to go talk to him, and you need to say this exactly. Hey, and Ken did it even better, right? He came in and said, look, I'm going to fight for you, and I'm not going to write your name down.
I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to.
So this is what you have with me. I thought he made the choice easy for Adam.
I thought so, too. And that must have been so soothing to Adam after...
But it wasn't.
Dealing with it from the other side, from the Millennials, and ending up on the bottom.
He's still threatening him and hawing before he heads in.
Well, sure. And I don't see that as unusual. But, because he knows the other Millennials are going to be upset with him. And they will.
Yes and no. He
maybe
certainly
not,
knows.
Though, because Michelle was kind of wanting to get rid of Figgy. So she may not be. She's not nearly as sorry about losing Figgy as Figgy would have been to lose her.
Yeah, I guess maybe what you're highlighting is the fact that Adam was showing us that he wasn't confident in his relationship with the other Millennials, not even with Zeke, right? Not even with Michaela.
Yeah, I do think
Zeke
kind of backed off of that, though I think Michelle was kind of cultivating him at one point because she said she really liked Adam. Mm-hmm. So he might have had some... She might have tried to pull him in saying, oh, no, don't give up because I want to keep you around. But she wanted to get rid of Zeke. So those things might have split him and Zeke a little more, I think.
Yeah, perhaps.
And Zeke kind of went toward Jay like, oh, Jay, yeah, I can get behind Jay. Mm-hmm. So... Anyway,
okay. Tribal Council. Yep, Probst tells us, look, we got 3 Millennials versus 2 Gen X.
Stating the obvious.
Yeah, is there anything we need to note here? Ken says, nope, we're clearly on the outside.
Well, and Figgy tells us everything is just all peachy with the Millennials.
Mm-hmm. Likewise with Taylor. Yeah, all the Millennials are sticking together.
Even though Adam did vote for me once upon a time. Mm-hmm. And I haven't forgotten, but I've forgiven him. I thought, now that was stupid.
Yes. Why would you reopen that?
Would you bring that up?
Yeah.
Willingly.
Yep.
Oy.
I guess she saw it as an opportunity to reinforce the bond and the relationship that they had.
And Adam reveals the relationship to Jeff.
Mm-hmm. The showmance.
I knew. She's not going to, she doesn't look at me.
I really liked, this is one of the times where I really liked Probst going off the script a bit and saying, hey, I'm an ordained priest. What do you think?
Minister, not priest.
Yeah, minister. Should we go ahead and marry you two? So, did you think Figgy was open to it, given what she said, the way Ken did?
She wouldn't mind having a husband and
survivor first.
She said, survivor first. Let's do it. We can always get a divorce, quickie divorce later if we don't change our mind. But Anyway, she didn't say that. I did, but
What did you think of Ken's commentary there, breaking it down for Taylor? It seemed like he was telling Taylor, you missed out. She was looking for some reinforcement there in that statement, and you fumbled it.
yep.
You did not jump in
You
there.
fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
He just kind of went, seriously?
Yeah.
You know, and Ken's like, oh, no, you should have said,
That would have been interesting. I'm surprised he didn't jump on it, as
Well,
impulsive
and
as he
especially
is.
if they'd have jumped in, got married, and then she got voted off.
Yeah, he probably really would have quit, right? We were wondering if that went that way. You had brought that possibility up that he might just quit so he could go party with her.
Yeah, spend the rest of the 39 days
The honeymoon.
with her.
Yeah.
Because if he gets to the jury, he won't see her again until after the show's over. So, okay, but they move along. I don't know what else was said. We'll have to have Figgy tell us a little more about it. But she tells us that they're still strategic. They're just voting together as two, like those two voting together. We're still strategic.
Again, I liked your word, delusional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ken points out, the numbers can change at any time.
At which point Taylor decides it's time to threaten Adam.
Yeah, he'll get voted out if he flips on the Millennials. The other Millennials will vote him out because we got the numbers.
And Figgy concurs.
That's like, well, not if they send you and Figgy home. And
I think he made her a little nervous when he said, well, I genuinely like who I'm going to vote for. Because they cut to her, and she looked a little edgy there, right? Like she was sensing it might be her.
well, even though that was ambiguous because he likes Ken too, but I thought he was saying that for Taylor's benefit, actually, more so than because he's more worried about. He didn't care about Figgy; she's gone.
Right.
He's left with Taylor.
You think he's really worried about him?
Maybe somewhat, but he's on the side of the numbers. So, if they lose again, bye Taylor.
Yeah. So I guess Figgy was crying. She was making crying sounds.
Yes, she was crying as she left, and she only said goodbye to Tay.
And Adam tells Taylor, I'll explain it if I can. I don't know that you really owe him anything,
I think he
Adam.
was basically asking for the opportunity to explain it. I'm sure he'd been thinking about that most and how he was going to manage Taylor.
Here's the deal for me. In our Survivor Fantasy League, JSFL, I had picked Figgy to win it all before the season started.
Bye-bye, USB 24.
Yep, definitely lost her. But
And I've never seen anyone more excited.
That's what I was trying to get to. All right, you're going to steal my thunder a little bit.
No, you can go ahead and tell them how giddy you were.
Sure. All right, now you've done it both. You've used both
Okay, well, go ahead.
adjectives.
Go ahead. Do a little hee.
In right, because that's something I do so often. Genuinely did not miss her at all. She played so poorly that she was basically just a huge disappointment this whole season.
Actually, I think that's the first time you've ever written your USB
It is.
24's name down.
It is.
You go, oh no, I
I'd
wanted
never
to go.
done that
I wanted
before.
her to go.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
this
don't
will
think I-
actually make transitioning to someone like Michaela that much easier.
All right, so we know who you're thinking about.
I had mentioned that in the listener feedback show last week, so definitely Team Michaela is a place to consider right now. And Jay, he's got a story for sure, as Adam, who we had talked about before. Those are like your three front runner stories that they're pushing with the edit. And then you've got Ken, and then everyone else is somewhere below that, it seems like. Maybe David somewhere around or below Ken. And then everyone else is just kind of, in the sidelines. At least we heard a little tiny bit from Sunday this week and a tiny bit from Will. They weren't completely invisible. And Hannah got some airtime with her panic attack, but let's see. I guess Hannah's panic attack got Bret a little bit of focus because he was there trying to comfort her.
Smart boy.
Yeah.
Get in wherever you can. 'Cause
Well, I think he was more focused on her.
I think he was too. However,
But without her
Doesn't
having the
hurt.
panic attack,
Yeah.
I don't know that he would have been featured talking at all in this episode. They're not giving us full stories for these folks,
yeah.
right? They're the ones that are in the front that they're building the story around, and then everyone else is just lightly sketched, just
But
a silhouette
it's
of
usually
Will and
that way.
Sunday.
Some
They've
of the
done
people
better,
just
I guess,
disappear
in the previous seasons.
Until it's their moment.
It wasn't like that last season, though.
It wasn't?
No, I don't think so.
More likely than not is most times.
Certainly it's not that way necessarily with returnees, although we have seen some people that didn't seem to offer a whole lot to the season that didn't get much focus, like Wigglesworth.
Okay. So, shall we do next on?
Yep, next time on Survivor.
Probst tells us a lovelorn Taylor.
Scorned. Yeah,
Love
anyway.
scorn?
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay, I wrote that wrong. Love scorn Taylor.
Or maybe I did. Maybe you got it right. Yep, he's out for revenge.
Either way, he's out for revenge.
Yeah.
And Adam says, he fesses up. Yeah, I lied you. I screwed you. I thought, okay, where are you going with this?
Yeah, where's the happy ending here? I'm not sure
But
your
let me
opening's
tell
that
you
good.
why. It's probably where it's going to go, but they only wanted us to see that part.
Yes.
And but Taylor determines he will destroy him. And I'm thinking, really, you in which army? Unless there's a merge pretty quick. If you guys lose again, you're in trouble, Taylor.
Yeah.
But I understand he wants revenge for depriving him of his honey. Though he might have had a narrow escape. He might have been a husband soon. So
Perhaps, yeah.
don't be so mad at Adam.
A new power couple forms, Probst tells us, as David offers, he tells Zeke that he has an idol.
Well, but he tells him first, I trust you a lot. I thought,
Yes.
How many people has he said that to?
He professes
Most everyone.
his effusive false trust.
But then he tells him about the idol. So I
Yeah.
thought, okay, well.
Yeah.
All right, he's really courting Zeke, which could be really good for him and Zeke and Chris.
Yeah.
That could be a pretty tight bond there. And I do think they would vote Michelle out.
That seems definite should that opportunity arise.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not sure
They
that
would be
they're
wise to.
they're going to get that chance. It's possible. That would be funny to have Michelle follow Figgy.
Well, I'm sure they'd rather keep winning.
Yeah.
So, but.
It really comes down to David and whether he goofs him up or not.
Yeah. And Zeke
In a
seems really
challenge.
impressed that David told him and like you said, put his life in my hands because I could use this against him.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, Figgy tells us that she came in with just one speed. Her guns were blazing. She was a force to be reckoned with, and so she guessed it was a compliment because otherwise she would have taken each one of them out.
Delusional to the end. We'll have to see if her day after video is any better, but I wouldn't bank any money on it for sure.
All right. Well, that was the episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And
enjoyed it
even
too.
won a point bonus.
Yeah, we're both happy about that.
Yeah. A lot of people did.
Mm-hmm. All right, how about a JSFL update?
4 people are tied now in first place with 28 points.
Carolyn got some neighbors at first, huh?
Yep. 21 people lost their USB 24.
Me.
125 people gained a vote-off point for Figgy. So we were not alone in thinking
No,
Figgy was
definitely
a good
not.
choice.
Well, and that was a theme in the listener feedback show.
Yeah.
That definitely weighed on me. Mm-hmm. And even though I had to make that choice to give up on 24 points, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got. How many
8
points
points.
did I get? I think I got 2 points off of her. I think I had gotten a safe point, burned a safe point on her too. So
I think I got.
I was
1
happy
point
with
off
that.
of Okay, and there were 30 people who lost a safe point in the side challenge. Aaron is still in the lead with 26 points. With 25 points, we have Brandon, Cole, Mike, Jeremiah, and Noom. With 24 points, we have Hubbaloo, Iron Dave, James and Shannon, Jonathan, Kitty Cat, Stacy, and Tyler.
Okay.
And with 23, we have Carolyn. Hey, Carolyn, a Carolyn
At the top and the
a
bottom.
Carolyn. Well, the bottom of the side
challenge, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
So
I like the symmetry there. Good job, Carolyn's.
I can just see what Carolyn in New York is doing right now, listening to you.
Think she's saying I'm number one?
Yep,
Giving me the salute?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Carolyn will be.
Yes.
I think so.
A salute from the beautiful Bronx.
well-deserved salute.
Oh, well deserved. You added, huh? Okay.
Okay.
So
well,
what do
I
you
think
think's
that's
going to
it.
happen next? Who's going to go next?
Wow, I have no clue, but depends on who loses, of course. But that's the big thing. You got to try to figure that out. Who's going to lose, number one, before you can figure out. So
You think Takali's going to go into a tailspin? You think Taylor can keep his head together? Or revenge is going to unhinge him and he's not going to be able to do well in the challenges? Or he'll choose to sabotage him in some way.
Well, that's one of the things you and I talked about that I would like to know how Taylor will play with no one to guide him. Mm-hmm. Because right now, he's on the bottom of that tribe.
So is that a question for Figgy?
I don't know, maybe.
How significant was your guidance for him? Were you helping call the shots for Taylor?
Well, they discussed things, I'm sure, but I think he probably would go along. Though he did point out some things. He did have opinions. I'm not saying that he didn't. But I just, without Jay or Michelle or, Figgy to kind of, I just wonder if he can lead the way. Yeah, if he can stay focused. Because he's been so happy this whole time. This is the first time he's not happy.
First time he's going to be forced to actually play the game.
Exactly. And on his own. And at the bottom. Mm-hmm. Because he's been riding it high because, we got the numbers. We're at the top.
Will Adam have remorse? Will he take pity on him? Will he undo his own advantage here with the Gen Xers?
I kind of think that Adam's going to do the smart thing, which is damage control as well as he can. But if he has the opportunity, I'm sure he'll get rid of him.
He's okay to cut him loose?
Oh, yeah. That would be the smart thing to do before he does.
Yeah, it's just a question of whether Adam is willing to do that, given all the hem-hawing he did on having to make the choice here.
He's made the choice. Now he has to.
Well, he made the choice for Figgy. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is,
how's he going to hold up under it? Is what I'm wondering.
He's going to have to, because now he's in the numbered group. There would be no reason to go 2-2 split and take a chance. Not. So that would be insane.
Well, actually, he's got an idol, so they could use that if they can get a bead on who it's going to be played for, and then they could take control in a tribe of three. I'm not sure what the majority in a tribe of three really gets you.
I really thought about that, but I wouldn't trust Taylor not to come back at me for that move.
Yeah.
I just don't think I could trust that.
So is David going to goof something up and cause them to lose? How does Ikabula lose? They've got so many people, right? They're going to be sitting 2 out again next week because you got 2 4s and then the 6.
Yep.
They were hinting a little bit with what Sunday and Jay were saying about how hungry they were. That they don't have enough food. And that might have ground them down by this next cycle.
True, because they don't have the same shelter. They didn't have the same food. They have to expend a lot more energy than the other people do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're probably not getting the rest because they had to rebuild everything.
No comfort, no tools,
no nothing.
Right.
Unless I would assume they gave them some.
The rice and beans. Yeah.
So they've got something, but the other people had other stuff could supplement.
Yeah.
At least some of the tribes. The ones with the fishing gear, for sure. But anyway.
Sure, they were happy for those chocolate chip cookies, but they were long gone, even by day 18.
They probably ate those before they got back to camp.
They might have, yeah.
I would have pulled off the trail and sat down and had cookies.
Yeah, or on the boat.
Yeah.
Right? Wouldn't it?
Why would we wait? We're starving now, so...
Lucy told us they traveled for like half an hour to get to those challenge locations.
I wonder if they had enough cookies for them to have more than one.
Yeah, I would imagine they probably did.
I don't know.
It was like a basket of them there.
Yeah, but 6 cookies could fill up a basket if they were decent-sized cookies.
Yeah, they were big cookies, the other ones that Vanua got. In any case,
don't imagine they look very big to them.
That could unhinge them. What happens to them if they have to go?
Oh, wow. I would assume that they would get rid of either Bret or Sunday. I mean, Sunday would be the logical one, but if they're thinking the same way the other Millennials were, they'd get rid of Bret because will be a bigger threat going into the merge, which they know is fast approaching.
Yeah.
Why not get rid of him now and not have to worry about going up against him?
Why not get rid of Sunday so that you'll have a better shot in the challenges? Or Hannah, for that matter? What happens to Hannah?
That's why they would get rid of Bret.
No, I'm saying so that you could win.
Oh, well then they could still get rid of Sunday.
Everybody gets rid of the big physical threats after the merge.
Not this season. Obviously, they were thinking of Ken.
Well, they were thinking of it, but that still hasn't happened.
It hasn't, but it would have if
Other than
Figgy
maybe
and
Paul.
Taylor had their way.
But Paul wasn't really a big physical threat. And
And I don't think that's why they got rid of
Lucy
him.
wasn't, yeah.
So, no, they haven't gotten rid of any physical
So the front
threats,
runners
really.
to go, we think, next time for episode 7 are Sunday, Michelle, and Taylor. Is that kind of how it stacks up? Or you
Yep.
said Bret?
I said Bret.
Yeah, I'm
but
thinking
it could
Sunday.
be Sunday.
Because I don't know that there's... See, Michaela could flip to Sunday and Bret, but then it's 3-3.
Yeah.
So she'd have to pull Hannah over. Because I don't think she's going to get
yeah.
Will.
Yeah.
Since
No,
Will's
and-
buddied up with Jay
and
and the cool
Michaela
kids.
can obviously control
But she could-
Hannah better than Will or Jay would allow her to do.
Yeah. That could be the way she takes control if Ikabula ends up in trouble in episode 7.
But why would she risk that if she can stay within the Millennials and get out all of the Gen Xers first?
Because she's at the bottom there? And this way she could
Maybe
build
she
herself
didn't
towards
think
the top.
She is. She said, "I'm aligned with Jay."
And then she
I'm
said she
aligned
would
with
cut him loose.
Well, yeah, if she needed to.
Yeah.
If she sensed that he was turning on her. But she would do that with anyone there, I'm sure. If she sensed
Yeah, it
that
seems
they were coming
unlikely. It
after.
seems more likely that it'll either be Sunday or Bret.
I agree. So I think we're in
So
agreement.
Sunday, Bret, and flip a coin, and then Michelle,
Definitely
and then Taylor.
Michelle on that one and Taylor on the other one.
Yeah.
Like you said, Adam could do something, but I don't think that would serve him well. So, okay, that's our prediction.
Yeah, so we've got a
I don't-
immunity idol, a hidden immunity idol active in every tribe right now.
Yes.
Adam's got one, David's got one, and now Jay has one. So Jay's chances certainly jumped up there.
Yep.
And they're emphasizing his backstory just like they did for Adam and similar to what they've done for Michaela too. They've all had these featured backstories.
I agree.
Well, we're curious to hear what you thought about episode 6 and any predictions you may have for episode 7. That's why we do the listener feedback show on Saturdays. We're looking to get your feedback in by noon Pacific time so we can get that put together and get that out there to you so that we can have a little bit of our Saturday. Because it takes most of the Saturday to put that together, huh?
Yep.
We generally get submissions right up to the last minute. The voicemail line, 206-350-1547. There's a toll-free version, 844-643-8737. The email, joanneandstacyshow@gmail.com. Looking forward to your feedback. You can write it up and mail it. You can record your own, which gives you the most control over your audio quality. The voicemail system seems to do okay, but it's your end of the call and the end of the call there where the voicemail system is, and sometimes stuff comes through, sometimes it doesn't, but it sure is a quick and easy way to get your feedback in, and we love that Pete, he's got his feedback in. He calls the voicemail
already there.
before we finish watching the episode.
Yeah, before we even record, Pete's
Yeah.
usually in.
So Pete from Boston, he loves that voicemail. He's in there taking advantage of it, and we get a pretty good mix of people recording their own or calling the voicemail line, and I'll go through and tune it up for you, so don't worry too much about it. If you flub over something when you're saying it, I can fix it all for you, and I'll take out the pauses.
You do that for us all the time.
Yes, it seems to work out pretty well. So
It's-
we got flow. We're just moving. When I take out our pauses of this, like what we're recording right now of our recap, it'll knock minutes off of what we recorded,
Yeah,
and that's okay.
just like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and you cut out
Any pause
our
longer
words,
than
too.
like a
filler words.
Yeah, I don't get all our filler words because we talk too
No.
much, but certainly for your feedback, we'll get in and we'll tune it up. Your writing, if you flub something there or whatever. All right, it's time to wrap it up. Anything else you want to add?
Nope, that's it for me. Good night, everybody.
Have a good one.